Run. Hello YouTube, I'm Tallman Brad and welcome back to Space Engineers, and today I'm going to show you how to build this. No, not the grey boxy thing, but the folding access ramps. Look at that. No Clangy rotors were used here, this is all just with hinges. It's a nice easy system, very easy to set up, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Dropped the landing gear down and I've built a platform which is easily big enough to fit my rover on it. You can see I've tested out the size here. I've also placed a battery on the back there because obviously these hinges are going to need power. So next what I need to do is to place a row of hinges where I want the doors to be. And you might be thinking, well, that's it. So thanks very much, Brad. I'm off. I'm going to go and build that now. Well, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, you can't just place a row of hinges on here and then attach a door to it and then just set up your limits. No, it's not quite that simple. And let me demonstrate why. So let's test it out by just putting one at either end. Now you would think you could just pick up a block and then connect it all the way along. So this last block, in theory, they would connect. But look, you can see there's a join there. These two blocks aren't connected. The reason for that is that when this grid goes through this hinge, it then turns to another grid. This side of the hinge is classed as a separate grid. So therefore, we're trying to attach two separate grids together. And it doesn't work, but there is a way around it, and that's really the point of this tutorial. Let me get rid of this, and I'll show you the easy way to do it. Because I'm in creative mode, I'm going to hold down Control, press my left button, and drag across to the end. And that's lovely, it's placed all of those hinges down. Now we've got the same problem here, we can't just put a block or one long row of blocks in here. Whichever one we start on, it'll be connected to, it won't be connected to the rest of them. What we need to do is remove the other half of this hinge, this front section here. Now there's a couple of ways of doing that. You can manually, if I just use the right mouse button when I'm in creative mode and it'll delete it, you can do that. Or for a bit of fun, we can just go into the control panel, find our hinges, not the first hinge, we'll keep that. And then what we can do is we can tell it just to detach all the heads. Now it's going to make a mess. All those heads have dropped out. It's quite good fun. Don't worry about it. The cleaners will pick those up. And we're left with exactly what we need. So now I can place a block on here that runs the full length. But of course it's not attached to any of these because they don't have their hinge parts. And this is where the trick comes in. If you notice on my toolbar, number 5 is the group of hinges. But number 6 is this one here. It's a hinge part. Now, for whatever reason, the small grid version of the hinge part isn't included in the group of hinges. It just doesn't appear. You've got to use a separate one. So I've dropped that into number 6. So now if I bring up number 6 and go in here, I can click that down in there, but it's still not attached to the rest of the grid. Those two components, those two ends of the hinge aren't attached. We need to tell it to attach them. So rather than doing one at a time, I'm going to use Control because it's creative tools and drag them all the way along. And now I want to connect all of those hinge parts to their other hinge part. So let's go into the tool menu, select all these hinges and say attach. So now all of those hinges are correctly attached to these blocks and in turn to the main platform. So I've extended that platform out now. It's about 5 deep, and on the end I'm just going to put the blast door edges. You can put whatever you want on here. It doesn't need to be these. I'm just using them because they're quite a bit sturdier than the normal light armor blocks, so they'll take a few knocks on the ground. The next thing we need to do is to find the lowest angle that this door is going to go down. We know the highest angle is going to be 90, because if you've watched the other tutorial I did on hinges, you'll know that that's 0, and that's pointing down at minus 45 approximately, plus 45 and then 90. I'm going to group all of these hinges for ease. I'm going to call these main door. The lower limit is on -90, which is obviously too far. So how do we find out where it is? Well, the easiest way really is just to start it going down over and see where it stops. So we'll just do -2 and off it goes, and it'll stop when it hits the ground. And now from that we can find out what that angle is. It's -20. So if I go back to the main door group, I can set my lower limit to -20. So if the door on our ship came out at an angle like that, we know this is easy. We know that that angle there is 45 degrees. So what we'd actually do is change our main door maximum height to 45. I'm going to reverse it first so it goes down and change the upper limit to 45. So I know what you're thinking, those blast door blocks don't look very good, blast door edges, so let's try changing those. I'm just going to get rid of those, and I'm going to place normal blocks instead. Look at that, beautiful. So there we have it, an easy way to use hinges to create those fancy ramp entrances to your base. And let's test it out before we go with the rover. Oh, it's a tight fit, it's a tight fit. Will it go in? Yeah, of course it will. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks again to all the new subscribers. You people are fantastic. And thanks really for taking the time to press the like button. That's really kind. It means so much to me. I love waking up in the morning and checking my likes. It's a weird thing, but it's so nice to see all the new likes. So thanks very much, and I'll see you again very soon with some more Space Engineers. Bye-bye.